there's always characteristics that you look for when you play an opponent, and especially in early March. Us both playing 17 games, you pretty much have in cement what you do well and what you don't. And, they don't get to the foul line a lot, and they've struggled to make them. They went 22 for 24 today. And, I look at their three-point shooting. Jonathan Gilling was excellent, as was a lot of other players. But, him 21 points and just the way they shot the three. They're a team that has turned the ball over throughout the course of the season, and they played 40 minutes with 10 turnovers. And you just go through every statistic offensively. We had a really hard time guarding them individually in the second half, guarding the post. And when they needed big shots, I really believe they made every one of them. And in a game like today, individual players and teams, playing at a high level, that's what March is all about. And I give credit to them. They were prepared, hungry together, and they earned their victory today.
Is there a way to summarize your defensive effort?
I don't look at us as being lackadaisical. We had a good week of practice, and we did today what we always do. It's just a couple matchups during this game didn't favor us. We got caught on screens. We had a real hard time keeping the ball in front of us, especially Trent Lockett. And in crunch time, you really from the mid-second half on, whether it was a post-up, a drive, or a shot, I thought their offense created good opportunities for their players, and their players really delivered.
Mike Gilling got pretty wide open too. Was it just anything they were doing screen-wise different?
They executed, but it's we've been a very good defensive team. Ironically, one of the things I told our team before we came down here is that there's a reason we are who we are, and there's a reason that we have the record and we're in a good position for a lot of things, and we have to bring those things to the arena. It can't be different. It's what do we do well? They have to be in place, and if you think about it, you can make the argument that through 17 games we've been the Pac-12's best defensive team statistically. And today Arizona State got 87 on us.
Any thoughts, big picture, on what this does to you guys?
No, we're not good enough to be an NCAA tournament team right now. That's not to say that we've waved the white flag or we're not going to go to LA to try to win the tournament. We have a bye for a reason. But, sometimes you say, oh, how can that happen? You have to be good. There's a lot of teams fighting for the same thing as us, and what they do is they go on the road in a game like today and they leave with a win. You have to earn your way into the tournament. There are no politics. And, we have some shortcomings that we've been dealing with since November. And we've found a way really over the last 6 weeks to not mask them, but to be a better team. And today, I thought we came in. If you watched us play on offense today, I can make the case that it's one of our best offensive performances. But we gave up 87 points.
Do you worry about this team emotionally in between now and the UCLA game?
No.
Well, what's your thoughts? Just you probably will get UCLA on Thursday. It seems to be SC.
Very tough matchup. Like Arizona State, they really post the ball well. They have three excellent players, the Ware twins and Josh Smith, and every team that plays them, it's a difficult matchup, and it is for us as well.
Do you feel like things have changed a lot in the sense that you were saying you felt like you had to win the tournament anyway, or do you think maybe if you won this game, got to Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't. That's the game I never play. I knew that this game would be hard anytime that you're on the road, and it's Arizona State's last game as well. They're practicing hard. They have a lot of pride. They were healthy today. They had all of their players available, and I really believe when you look at Carrick Felix, Trent Lockett, Jonathan Gilling, three of those guys in one game probably had their best games of the season, or certainly one of them. They were outstanding. They really were.
Did you have a good feeling about your guys going into this game?
I did. We practiced hard. If you look at our senior leadership, and you had Solomon as a junior, those guys really played hard and well. Each of them broke down defensively, and we did as a team. But you look at Kyle Fogg and Brendan Lavender, Jesse Perry, Solomon. Those four guys played. It just we needed more than them.
Earlier this week, you said one of your biggest fears was losing your defense. Do you feel like it'll be back on Thursday?
That's why. You saw why. And that's what happened.
When they called the timeout with 12 seconds on the shot clock and Gilling got the open three, were you anticipating him or Lockett, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, with 12 seconds, the first thing you worry about is the basket, because there's not a lot of time And I can't, I don't have that play completely in my mind. You know, I know they set a screen for him and he came off, but, you know, the other part of it, you got to make the shot. You know, it's just sometimes that you can always say, God, your guys weren't doing a good job defensively. There were plenty of times where I thought we did do a good job defensively, but they made the shot.
Felix, I think, spent 2 weeks at home with a virus, something like that, hadn't played in a while. What did you see from him?
Played with great energy. He had one of the best plays of the game, a hustle play, where I think we had a steal and threw it ahead to Brendan Lavender, and he just really ran hard.
That was the Turner bounce pass?
Played with a lot of energy, and their whole team played with a lot of energy. It's, you know, I'm never that guy who just says us, us, us. I mean, you have to give credit where credit's due, and Arizona State earned their victory today. They played outstanding.
That series there where it went from you were up 2 on the fast break to they came back and got fouled and I think tied the game back up. Was that, in your mind, a pretty big moment?
There were a number of big moments. You know, there were a couple times they were on the foul line. If they make 1 of 2, you know, it gives you a chance, but they made them both. You know, they ran a ball screen very late in the shot clock. I forget how much time there was. Kyle helped in, closed out on Gilling, challenged the shot, and Gilling made it. You know, Gilling was really a good player today. As a freshman, showed a lot of poise and helped Arizona State beat us, for sure. He was as big of a factor in the win as any player in the game.
Did they do anything different down the stretch, or was it a case of them just making their shots?
Thought they executed, and they made them.
What's your message to your guys this week?
You know, I don't have a big message. We're going to take tomorrow off. We're going to practice 2 days, and we're going to go to UCLA. We're going to compete. You know, the regular season's over. Everybody's 0-0, and you know, as bad as it feels right now, we've been there. It can quickly turn around with a hard-fought victory on Thursday, put us right in the semifinals. You know, avoiding the game on Wednesday is a good thing, and we'll go from here.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Thanks.